Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and today we're going to be playing Home is Where the Heart Is. Now, you might be looking at this thumbnail and you might be thinking, I don't entirely understand how it relates to this particular title. Because what you have here is Sleuth and his two dogs, and in the background I think it looks like, Mrs. Sleuth as well, all sitting outside a lovely alpine home on some sort of grass hill, lovely green trees in the background, and snow-capped mountains. Fairly typical alpine scene, I can assure you. And I admit, when we were doing our... Was it summer vacation? I can't even remember what it was. It was during the summer, I believe. And we were traveling around Europe with our two dogs. You definitely get tempted when you're traveling around, beautiful scenery, very serene, and you're thinking maybe this is where you should be based, and that you should be considering relocating and just changing your lifestyle a bit. But once I bring up the rules in a second, it will all become clear how these two relate. So, speaking of which, let's take a look at the rule sets. So, we're playing today Home is Where the Heart Is by Andreas Lubbe. Sorry if I can't pronounce your surname. And Andreas basically says, on a trip to a chalet in the Alps, I found this beautiful image of a heart-shaped, like two mountain peaks encircling a house. And I just had to try and challenge myself to make a Sudoku out of it. Which I think I would say he's successfully done so. Because you can see the two mountains, another, that's one, that's two, and then what is clearly some sort of a house there in the middle. And hence the thumbnail that you saw earlier. Now, Andreas is being very circumspect with the rules by saying normal Sudoku rules apply. So that means place the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, in every column, and in every 3x3 box. We know this one. Digits along a green line differ by at least 5. Many of you would recognize this as German whispers. So if you imagine that this cell here is a 2, this cell which is adjacent to it must differ by 5 or more. So that is 7, 8, or 9. Same for this one, 7, 8, or 9, and repeat. Now, what is interesting about this is, whichever one you pick, let's say this is an 8, the next cell has to be 5 or more away. So that could be 1, 2, or 3. And you end up with this pattern where you're oscillating between low, high, etc. Notice when I say, in all of the examples that I have here, I did not include the number 5. If you have a moment to think about it, you'll understand why. Now, digits along an orange line differ by at least 4, and I can see 2 orange lines here. Now, the challenge when it comes to Dutch whisper lines, as they're otherwise known, is 5s are now allowed. You can do something silly. You can do something like 5, 1, and 1, and because they're only 4 or more away, that is actually absolutely fine. And you can do things such as flipping the polarity. So it no longer oscillates between low and high and low again. You've actually gone low, medium, high. So something to watch out for as part of the solve for sure. We have digits separated by a white dot are consecutive. I see a couple of them up, well, 3 of them in fact. If this cell here was a 2, these would have to be 1 or 3 to be consecutive. And then digits separated by a black dot are in a 1 to 2 ratio. If this cell here was a 2, this would have to be 1 or 4. Essentially, one cell is double the other. Now, there is nothing in the rules that confirms whether negative constraints apply or not. And normally, if somebody doesn't specify, I assume it doesn't. So something that looks as follows, where these two are clearly double of one another, without a black dot between them, I think is going to be appropriate and allowed. So, if you want to play along, if you want to visit where Andreas's heart now is, link will be in the description down below as usual for you to play along. And with that said, I'm going to restart the clock, see how I got on. So there's nothing that's striking me as obvious, if I'm honest, around where to begin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to color every other cell see if I can make anything of it. So we don't know if this is low or high. I'm going to go for some neutral color like purple. I'm going to go with some other neutral color like orange for this one. At this cell as well, which I missed. So remember what I said, it oscillates between low and highs. So we're oscillating between lows and highs. I just don't know whether purple is low or high. And aside from seeing that row 3 has all 4 oranges, meaning the rest are purple or 5, I'm not entirely sure what that has done for us. Coloring these is also a challenge. I mean, the only thing that I can say is this could be purple, it could be, orange or gray. We talked about the 5s, so I'm going to use grays for 5 at the moment. And I think it's already time to start thinking about 4s and 6s. Tough part is I don't even know what the colors are. So normally I'd be very tempted to use letters at this point, but I'm not sure I want to go down that route. So I'll tell you something that is already striking me. I can't find in box 5 where 4 and 6 would go. And, imagine that this cell here was a 6. What it's saying is to be 5 or more away, all of these are now 1, which is ludicrous. But the thing is, whichever one is 4 or 6, they're not in any of these because they have at least 2 neighboring digits on the German whisper line that see each other. So none of these are 4 or 6. Interesting, which means the rest of these are 4, 5, 6. And I don't know how I'm going to determine what is what. Is this what I'm meant to be doing? Thinking about numbers this early on, I may as well. Because I'm not seeing what else am I going to be doing. Interestingly, in row 5, no, because this could be this could be purple. Nothing stops that from happening. Excuse me. This can't be purple. Sleuth. This is either orange or gray. So we've placed all the oranges and the 5. All the rest are purple. Thank you, White Kropke Dot. Clearly, you can't have 4 and 6 connected to one another. That just doesn't happen. And we already established that this is not 4 or 6. So if this was a 5, this would have to be 4, 6. And then these two would have to be 1, 9 simultaneously, which is impossible. So that cannot be a 5. That is 4, 6. That is the orange 4, 6. That is the orange 3, 7, because that's the only one that can be adjacent to 4, 6. This is now definitely a 5. And therefore, this is 1 or 9. This would have to be the other 1 or 9, except it's an orange 1 or 9. This is now 2 or 8 because it can see 3, 7, 4, 6, 1, 9 all in this cell. This is 1, 9. Right, we're up and running now. 1, 9 purple. No, hang on, I'm going too far. 3, 7 and 1, 9. 3, 7 is quite restrictive, isn't it? It means that this would have to be either 1, 9 or 2, 8. And it's not 1, 9. This is 2, 8. So essentially now I have a purple 4, 6 with a 5. This is 1, 9, 3, 7. Pretty sure 3, 7 can't be next to 3, 7. So we actually know the order of this one. That is a 3, 7. That is a 1, 9. This is going to get old very quickly, by the way, just having to keep thinking about two options simultaneously, always. This is 3-7. 3-7 has to be surrounded by 1-9 and 2-8. This is not the 1-9, this is the 2-8. This is the 1-9. Come on, Sleuth, this was going so well. Let's not lose steam now. So 2-8 is fairly permissive. The only thing that it doesn't allow is 4-6. So neither of these can be 4-6. This is the only place for 4-6 in row 3. Therefore, this is another 1-9. This obviously now becomes 2-8, and it has to be purple because it's an extreme digit, whatever it may be. These now are 3-7 and 2-8. 3-7 sees this cell. That is 3-7. That is 2-8. 2-8, 3-7. This would have to be 4-6, which is... Ah, no, it's not possible. Because it would need both of these to be 1-9, which initially I thought it can be, but clearly not this cell. So that is not 4-6. That is another 1-9. 1-9 here. I think that forces a 5. Yeah, the fact that I'm changing polarity now means that, wrong way, this has to be a 5, and therefore this also has to be 1-9. This tells me this is not the 5. This is the 5. At least we're placing digits. And we actually placed a few digits now at minute 7. I don't know when I placed the first one, but progress. We've done 5 and all 4 purples. All the rest are now orange. 3 oranges. We have a 5 in here, plus another orange. So orange, grey. Not liking the fact that I'm still with orange and purples. I don't know which is low and which is high, but the only way I think we're going to be able to solve this is with this black Kropke dot. Because everything else, typically, to resolve what is low and high, black Kropke dots are immensely useful. I just don't know when it will be. So this is 3746. This would be 3746. So these 3 cells are actually known. Yeah, because 1-9 can't be any of these cells. That is 1-9. These are not 1-9 or 4-6. They are 3-7-2-8. Meaning that this is the 4-6. And then in here I have 5 and 3-7. Orange, we've got at least 3 of them. Whether it's 4 of them or not doesn't matter. These 2 have to be purple. These 2 have to be orange. So this merry-round can continue. I feel like I've got all I can out of this. This can't be 4-6 anymore because that's 2-8, and it's not 1-9 or 3-7. That is 2-8 then. That is fine. One of these is 1-9, one of these is 4-6. I'm not going to label it just yet, which means 2-8 is neither of these cells and not this cell because it sees it. That's 2-8. The 3-7 now has to be in here, which actually means this is 4-6 pair, isn't it? Because I've labeled everything else. Yeah, that's a 4-6 pair. That's not an orange 4-6 pair. That's a purple 4-6 pair. That's an orange 4-6 pair. Doesn't help me here. Doesn't help me here. Excuse me. One 928 means this is actually quite permissive. Right. Unless I start using letters to make my life easier, where I can start to pencil mark some of these things, because, you know, even that I'm not a fan of. And trying to think about all of the possibilities for these, and here in particular, and the black kropki dot, which is what's going to help me all along. Right, let's think about the black kropki dot, because I don't think it can be double orange anymore. Essentially, if it's double orange, meaning it's low, orange is low, this would have to be 4, because 1, 2, and 3 are gone. And this would have to be 2, which it cannot be. So this is not a double orange. Could it be double purple? No. No, it could be. What would it be? Because 1 and 2 are both seeing the cell. That would have to be the 4. This would have to be the 2. That is a possibility still. Not sure. I'm actually not really sure about where to go next. I mean, if it's not this, am I going to have to start pencil marking these? This seems ludicrous. I may well have to. Interestingly, here, I'll show you something. If this is purple, it would have to be 4, 6, because I've already placed the other 3. If this is orange, well, that means this is orange. And then where would I place the orange 4, 6 between these 4? Again, it can only be in here. And the reason it can only be in here is because this is the only cell out of all of them that can have something that isn't 1, 9 in here, because that's a Dutch whisper line. So despite the fact that I don't actually know the color, I know that this is 4, 6, I know that this is 1, 9, and I know that this is 2, 8. Which makes this very likely, very, very likely to be 3, 7, given the fact that we have it sort of fairly permissive right now. Right, this gives me the color. 1, 9, that is purple. That is purple. That is orange. That is kind of what I was hoping for. This is now the only place where I can have 3, 7, because 3, 7 needs 8 and 9, doesn't it? Could I have put it anywhere else? 3, 7 with 8 and 9. Yeah, I still could. Ignore what I just said. But actually, this is... No, hang on. Doesn't have to be 3, 7. Sorry, I was looking at the 1, 9, 2, 8 and thinking this is 3, 7 at minimum. Not true. So this is not 1, 9. This is at least a 2, 8. Right, so these two cells are either 1, 9, 2, 8, or 3, 7. What they cannot be is one that includes 4, 6. No, too many pencil marks, too many pencil marks. I'm just going to lose track. Letters, Sleuth, it's kind of almost my signature. This could be 1, 9. It's not 2, 8, but it could also be 3, 7, because these are quite permissive. It's not 1, 9. It's not 2, 8. It is 3, 7. This is not... Well, we knew it wasn't 2, 3, 7 anyway. So all of these are purples or 5s. I don't know how to place the 5s. In fact, 5 is in one of these 3 cells. This can't be orange, because we've already got all 4. So this is purple or 5. Yeah, it could well be, because 5s are in one of these 2 cells. 5s are now not here, not here. This is a 5. That's not a 5. That is a 5. That's not orange, and that is grey. Sorry, that is orange. These are all done. That is 2 purples. And remember, we said something about neither of these can be 4, 6, but I don't know how to pencil mark that. Unless it's increasingly likely that I'm going to have to start using letters so I can actually start pencil marking things that I know but would be almost impossible to do when there's still 2 options. 3, 7 is down here, which means to me that neither of these is 3, 7. Yeah, that works. And this is 1, 2, 8, 9. That's not the 1, 9, that's the 2, 8. That is the 1, 9. One of these is 3, 7. One of these is 4, 6. Still no closer to this black Kropke dot. Right. Sorry to say it, I am going to have to use letters. Not enjoying the fact that I'm adding it so late into the game, but I need to add some more things. So essentially, I'm just going to go with 1, 9 for orange is A, and hopefully this is sort of fairly self-intuitive as I'm doing it. D, C, D. This is AB? No. BC. This is D. Have I done all of them? No. C and B. Right, then I'm going to do the reverse. This is I. I haven't got many purple 4, 6s. That doesn't look right. That's not I. This is I. That's a bit better. I, H, G, F, F, H, I, G, H, G. These are now Fi. This is G. I, we've said, no, hang on. We've said F has to be up here. G has to be down there. This is I. This is H. And that's everything, I think. No, that's I, H, I. Right. This is not F, it's GHI, except it's not I. Right, so it is useful. GI. Up here, this could be F, not G or I, but it could be H. And this is F, but not G, but it could be H or I. That's not a 5, and it's not orange, because we've got 4 of them. That is purple, and it's not F, and it's not G, and it's not H. It is in fact an I. That's an F, that's an I. I, if you remember, is 1, 9. F is 4, 6. 1, 9. No I. This is FH. Therefore, this is 4, 6, 2, 8. No H down here. This is the G. This is the I. That's 1, 9. This is 3, 7. Right. If this is fully purple, this would have to include a 2, and it doesn't. If this is fully orange, this would have to include a 2, and it doesn't. They both see it. So this is a mixed. This is a mixed one. This is 3, 6 or 4, 8. And based on my letters, one option is CF. That's that 3, 6. There's another 3, 6, which is GD. I'll figure out in a second which one is possible. And then the other possibility is 4, 8, which would be DH. or FB. Goodness me, I haven't made this easy, have I? FB off the table. That's easy enough. DH, well, D would have to be here. Well, DH is all looking at this cell. This can't be it. This is not a 4-8. This is a 3-6. Right, we're getting somewhere. CF, this would have to be the C. This would have to be the F. DG, this would have to be the D. And this would have to be the G. So far, both work. A, C, B. So this would have to be D. We know they're different colors. This would be purple, sorry, orange, and therefore this would be purple. If it's D, purple G looks possible. Right. I mean, the other possibility is this is orange C and purple F. Still possible. Can I? Oh yeah, I've done a lot of this. All of this is purple. How about I do that first? F, G, and I. This is known. This is H. Not helpful. That's my 2-8 gone. This is not 4-6. This is 3-7. And it's G. And therefore, this is F and 4-6. That is not F. That is not C. This is D. This is G. Did I color this correctly? Yes, I think I did. And therefore, I'm fairly sure now this is correct. G is high, D is low. And I can go around and replace this sanity. No, I've made a mistake. Sorry. Ignore that for a second. I made a mistake up here. Dear, oh dear. I mean, this is still fine. Let's just keep going for a second. Pardon me. That was a bit clumsy of me. I mean, you can see B's on neither of these. This is a B. That's orange. This is 2-8. D now, given it's not here. Yeah, because B cannot be anywhere else. This is D. Therefore, this has to be 4-8. I made a mistake earlier. So that would have to be D with H. Whoa, Sleuth, what have you done? No, D could still be 6. Yeah, I made a mistake. It was fine. I just misinterpreted it. D was 6. Yeah, that was fine. Come on, Sleuth. So that was G, D. Which letter am I missing? Right, doesn't matter. Just color it. We've got 3 of them. And that's C. And now, definitely, orange is high. Purple is low. This is 3. This is 6. That was hard work. I don't know if I made it harder for myself than it really is, but that felt hard. And then hopefully all of this is now correct. How are we doing for time? 24 minutes. We're okay now. I think. How did I do that? I clearly made a mistake with this one. Pardon me. Not entirely sure. I think that was just a mistake from earlier as opposed to a genuine issue. So far it all looks good though. So at least haven't made any fundamental mistake as far as I could tell. We don't know what this is other than it's 7, 8. We know that these are 1, 4. We know that this is 2, 4. Why don't I think that these were resolved earlier? Who knows? This is blue. That much is obvious. And it's 1, 4 again. Because it's not red and it's not 5. That's 1, 4 because it's not 2, 3. That has to be 1. That is 4. That is 1. This has to be the 5 because it's not any of the low digits nor any of the high digits. These are now all high. That's not 8. That is 6, 7. 8 is here with another 6, 7. There's another 6, 7 with a 2. The 2 can only be in here. This is 6 or 7. It can only be a 7. These are not 7s. This is 7. This is a 6, 8 pair. These are 4, 6. That's the 6. That's the 4. This is 5, 9. That's the 5. That's the 9. This is 4, 8. Not known. You know, we still have this white crop kiddo, so we're going to need to use it, I suspect. This is 2, 3. That 3 tells us that's the 3. That's 2. That's 4. That's 2. That's not a 5 anymore. 1 can only be in here. 4 is somewhere in there. What is this row? This is 4, 3. 3 is not here. That's 3. That's 4. This is 5, 9, I'm going to say. Unresolved. This can be, though. That is a 6. Right. This is 4, 8, 7, 8. It's not a 7. This is 4, 8. That's the only place for a 7 in this column. That doesn't resolve my 4, 8s. That's fine. In here, that 6 gave me the 8 and 6 earlier. What have I got left now? 4, 5 pair or 9, 8 pair? It's sort of what it's shouting. Not sure. What is these? What are these two? This is 9 or 7, 9. That is not a 7, that is a 9, that is 7. That gives me my 4, 8s. That is a 5, that is a 9, that is an 8, that is a 4. And if I've not made any mistakes, that's a 5 for the finish. It's a beautiful puzzle, Andreas. Home is where the heart is. I hope that you guys enjoyed this puzzle. It was absolutely phenomenal. I love the fact that you really had to push. You really had to push for quite some time before you got to the point where you determined that this is different colors and it had to be 3, 6 or 4, 8 and finally resolve it all. What a wonderful puzzle. Hope that you guys enjoyed it and you enjoyed the solve as well. I think it was fairly smooth other than the odd clumsy bit here and now. Definitely check out more. I mean, this almost played like a Colorado puzzle, if I'm honest, with the way that was going. But I used German whisper lines rather than XVs, which is just phenomenal. Take a look at German whisper line puzzles, though. There's so many that have been featured on the channel. Hopefully some of them are as exceptional as this one was. Bye-bye for now.